Hi everyone, and welcome to the Success Stories of Black, Brown, and White People series. I am the host, and my name is Maswa Blossom Your Mentor. I'm the best-selling author of the children's books, Black, Brown, and White, We All Feel, and Black, Brown, and White, We're All Beautiful. As you all know, there are many successful people around the world, so it is our job to bring them to you one at a time, from far and near, to inspire us. Here with us today is an exceptionally brilliant woman. I'm inspired by her works, and she's just amazing all in all. Her name is Selam Debs. She is an anti-racism instructor. She is also a yoga instructor, and she is a singer. Wow. Wow. So incredible. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Selam. It is such an honor to have you. How are you?
Thank you for having me, Marswa. It's a pleasure to be here. I am doing well. Thank you.
Awesome. So let's jump right into it. Tell us more about yourself. Under 5 minutes, no pressure. Take your time. What is it that I didn't cover in the intro? What would you like our viewers to know about you?
Sure. Well, I am a Black Ethiopian queer mother. I am a mother of a 16-year-old boy.
Wow.
Like you shared, I teach anti-racism, anti-oppression. I own Juici Yoga, so I have a yoga studio, brick and mortar. And I also am a holistic life coach. I was born, my family's from Ethiopia, and I was born in Amman, Jordan. They came to so-called Canada in the 1980s. And I grew up in disinvested communities with my single mom. And then, obviously had all of the experiences that a young person might have, whether it be, experiencing sexual abuse, experiencing racism, having a son at the age of 21, doing it all on my own, the father walking away, and building a business over time and building my life over time through yoga and meditation, through anti-racism and equity work. And so now when I look back at, where I came from and where I am today, I understand why I have so many hats, because meditation and yoga, as well as anti-racism work, is deeply connected, because for me, my healing and my activism are deeply aligned, and so that practice of, holding systems accountable and addressing the ways in which we've experienced anti-Black racism, and also addressing intergenerational trauma and learning how to heal and take my power back. Those two things have been a big part of my life.
Wow, that is just amazing. As you're talking, I can just hear the strength, hear the healing from your voice. It's just wonderful to see, to kind of backtrack, to see how far you've come from and how far you've reached. Like this point, it's just amazing. You used all your struggles and you used your coping mechanisms to kind of now inspire others to get them on that same journey of peace and fulfillment. Wow, that is so inspirational. Like, I just love you. I'm sorry. I just love your strength and all the work you're doing for our community. So next, who is a successful person to you?
That question would have probably looked different many years ago. I think when I was struggling, when I didn't know myself, when I hadn't gone along my healing journey, I probably would have thought success was, having a nice house, having a nice car, having a nice job, having all of the things to have, comfort and not struggle. But now what I recognize as a successful person is one where you can truly look at yourself in the mirror and you feel a sense of peace, of contentment, of love, of compassion, of healing, of forgiveness. And so you can really see your full self and own every part of who you are, regardless of where you came from and where you are today. Actually, those parts of you become part of your superpower.
You nailed it. Those are the attributes that we need now to live a fulfilling life. With all the chaos going on, you have war, you have the daily killings, and we all need peace. We all need love, because we cannot move on fully without these attributes, right? You need to have a peaceful mind. You can have all the money in the world, but without peace, without joy, without love, what is the actual wealth? So that's the question now. What is wealth?
Yeah.
I love it. Wow. So what is your success story? I know you just touched base a little bit about your history. Right now, looking at yourself, what is your success story?
I think when I think about who I was when I was a little girl and the insecurities that I had, the way that I thought I wasn't enough, I wasn't good enough, I wasn't, beautiful enough, that I would never be successful, being streamlined in school and not being able to have access to university, growing up in communities where you're being surveilled by policing, growing up in communities where you're seen as the other and seen as inferior. And also the ways in which I internalized so much of my, the oppression that I experienced, that I saw myself as unworthy, to love, to success, to the things that I could achieve in life. And so I think now when I look back, I know my success story is exactly where I am right now, and the sense of radical love and compassion that I have for myself, and the way in which I was able to transform my wounds into wisdom, And when you transform your wounds into wisdom, it's not that they go away, it's that they become stepping stones, and they open doors actually to more deeper, loving, compassionate relationships with others. And you're able to actually see people, beyond their circumstances and challenges that they experience. And so I would say having a yoga studio, teaching anti-racism, a son that's 16-year-old. My son is definitely one of my biggest successes, looking at him and seeing so much of my healing work transformed through him, and that intergenerational healing.
Wow, you broke it down for us. I love the last part. You're proud of your son because of the work you did for yourself and on yourself. Now you see that reflection in him. So just listening, as parents, we have to do the work within ourselves in order to be there fully for our children, in order for them to break all those intergenerational curses and everything else associated with it. We have to do the work. The work starts with us, and then it transforms to our children. So I love that. Thank you. So what advice do you have to share with our viewers watching today?
I would say that, whatever your experiences or your history was, that one thing that we have to be aware of is shame. How shame prevents us from living into our truth and living out our fullest lives. And so when you can actually own your story, through therapy, through journaling, through support, through community support, through internal reflection, through looking at who you are, where you came from, and owning all parts of who you are, and you start to release that shame little by little, you no longer hide behind the limitations that you think you have. You begin to actually speak truth and power into those parts of yourself. And so I think owning your story, your story is your superpower. When you own it and you own all parts of yourself, nothing actually can impact you. Nothing can actually tear you down. And no one can actually say anything about you that you already haven't accepted and learned to love and forgive within yourself. And so things that you're hiding, see if you can start to bring light to them, taking them out of the shadow, bringing them more into the light in a safe way, so that you can be fully whole, because it's your birthright to be so.
Yeah. Wow, I feel like I'm in one of your classes right now. As you're talking, it's just piercing within me, going deep, and it's just resonating with me, and it's just wow. We have to go through the healing process, guys. There is no way around it. You may try to avoid it, but then down the road, you're going to find out that you still need to start over and go back from the beginning stages to do the actual healing. So please take some notes from our yoga instructor, anti-racism educator here with us. This is a privilege to have her here today. We're taking some gems from her. People pay for this, so make sure you're paying attention. And yes, so Selam, what sets you apart from others?
Yeah, you know, I think when I first got into business, what I noticed and I was doing the work that I was doing is that a lot of folks are in competition, right? There's a perspective that we're supposed to be competing with each other. So I need to be better than this person. I need to set myself apart from this person. But what I realized over time is that I started to learn how to be in collaboration with people and actually uplift people. I think one of my superpowers is uplifting people and supporting them and seeing their superpower and seeing how what they have to offer their community and this community in the world. Rather than looking to see myself in a version of them or alongside them, I see us in collaboration. And I believe truly that when each of us have our own gifts to offer. And so when we actually live into those gifts, we're actually not looking at what other people are doing other than to champion them and to uplift them. We're actually looking at the gifts that we bring into the world. And so I think one of my the gifts that I'm able to offer in the world is my transparency, my honesty, my authenticity, and also just my love for community and love for seeing other people thrive. And so I think lifting up others brings me the greatest joy. And yeah.
Wow, that's just amazing. I mean, that's another way to gain joy. You lift others up, you see the smile, you see the peace you bring to others, and it reflects on you, right? So that's another way of giving back, and at the same time it's a rewarding feeling. So what is the best advice you've received from someone?
The best advice I've received from someone. I think the best advice that I've received a lot of amazing advice, but this more goes on the internal personal healing journey, because, we could talk about anti-racism, we could do all the things, but I think on a personal
Hold
journey.
on, I need to take notes. Am I allowed to take notes?
This is the personal. I think it is when people show you who they are, believe them. And, when we believe who people are, and that's a quote by Maya Angelou, when we actually believe who people show themselves to be to you, then what you're actually doing is you are, creating boundaries and integrity for yourself. And you're actually showing integrity and boundaries towards others as well. Because oftentimes what happens, and especially for us as Black women and women in general, that we are often taught that we need to fix people, we need to help them, and we need to lift everyone up, and we need to make everybody better. But sometimes, the greatest gift that we can offer people is that we create those boundaries and we say, well, thank you for showing me who you are. This isn't an alignment, and I'm going to move in this direction. It's not that I don't like you. It's not that you're a bad person or a good person. It's that this is not in alignment for me. And I think learning how to say no in a loving way, and learning how to set those boundaries for yourself, starts to allow for you to live your most purposeful and most integral life, rather than always trying to accommodate and overcompensate. I think a big part of my healing journey has been learning how to move away from overcompensating, always feeling like I'm coming to the plate, half empty, or that I need to prove to people my worth. And so when we do that, I think when we believe who people are, we begin to create more bountiful and, healthier relationships and environments that we can thrive in.
Yes. Wow, that is powerful. You sure are a yoga teacher, instructor. Wow. So, tell us in 3 minutes, again, no pressure, 3 to 5 minutes, what is it about your businesses you want us to know? Locations, just any details that we may have missed out, you can just let us know.
Yeah, well, I have a yoga studio. It's called Juici Yoga, Juici with an I. And so folks can go to the website, juiciyoga.com, and we have yoga classes, meditation classes, workshops. You can either come to classes virtually or you can come to in-studio classes. And so that's one portion, the yoga studio in Waterloo. And I also have the anti-racism course that I developed and created, and that's on selamdebs.com. And there's PDFs that you can download for free. And then there's an opportunity to sign up for the wait list, and you can join, the 2023 anti-racism course cohort. And also folks can go to Selam Debs or to Selam Debs on Instagram, and I share lots of content and lots of information for folks to learn from. And online, probably the best place to be right now.
Right. Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. You're so intelligent, so beautiful, and keep up the great work. I'm just gonna let you know right now, so you don't maybe sue me. I'm gonna put your voice on because we talked about the yoga, we talked about the anti-racism. We do nothing about the singing, so maybe just a little clip. Do I have your permission?
Sure, I can sing a little bit.
Okay. I was gonna attach a clip, but go ahead.
Yeah, I could sing a little bit something for you.
Okay.
When you're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, you can't find the fighter, but I sit in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out. Move mountains.
Yes, sis, yes. Oh my goodness, so beautiful and amazing. What are you doing with your voice? I was about to wrap this up, but you need to be on American Idol. Is there any singing competition in Canada? I'm not sure. The war is on. Have you applied to any of those competitions?
I did Canadian Idol way back, but before I had my son. But you know what? I will be joining some more shows and events, performances live in the fall. Definitely that's going to be happening for sure.
Oh, definitely follow your, wow, that alone is healing. Your voice. Wow, you're just gifted, and I'm not just throwing out there. I'm sure viewers listening, you're truly gifted. Once again, everyone, this is the Success Stories of Black, Brown, and White People series. We're here to bring you all the successful men and women from here and more to inspire us all. We need daily motivations to propel us to excel in our lives. We cannot just stick to what we know, to our own environment and our own crowds. We have to listen to the stories of others to see their struggles and to see what has led them to this point of success. So I thank you all for tuning in. Thank you so much, Selam Debs, for joining us today. You're amazing. And please do follow her. I will attach the links on our social media pages, on Instagram and everywhere else. Thank you for joining us. Please look out for the next episode. That will be August, the last weekend in August. So thank you guys so much, and talk soon. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.